Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here on this channel. Today we are diving into a question I get a lot, which is a little hard to talk about, mostly because I change apps, or I have been changing apps quite a lot, but a question I get is, what applications do you use and recommend? And I honestly wouldn't recommend applications to or the applications I use to you just because I'm using them. We might be in a different situation, we might value different things inside of an application. So choosing your applications really depends on what you need. But I have a few applications that I use quite a lot, and in today's video I am going to show you some of the applications, and I also have one application that I'm unsure about, which I will get to later in the video. But just as the last time I think I made a video like this, I can't remember if it was a video or it was a blog post, but I am still using my mind as my go-to note-taking application, and I've been doing that for around 3-4 months, which is a long time for me. So I have been using this for 3 or 4 months, and what I like about this is how easy it is to use. I don't want to spend time organizing in things like my note-taking application, in my calendar, in my to-do list. The only place where I am sort of into, or where I can think about organizing a little bit or spend some time organizing, is in my project manager, for various different reasons. One of them being that I actually have to share the project management tool with freelancers and people I work with to create things for social media, or creating a website is a project I'm working on and I'm getting help on. So I my project manager I am willing to organize, but inside of my other applications I don't want to spend time organizing, and that is where my mind fits perfectly. So just as an example here, I just give it the tag YouTube video idea, and when I want to find my YouTube video ideas, I can just jump into here and search for YouTube video ideas. The same goes for like my wish list, so I can just have wish list like this, and everything I wish for actually pops up here. So it is like a really simple application in that sense, because it organizes itself, and all you have to do is search for things, and it might seem a little chaotic and a little difficult to use at first, but once you actually try it out and see how it works, it isn't actually that hard to use the application. I think I have around 600 notes inside of here, and it does a good job at finding all of those notes. Another reason for why I use my mind is that I save a lot of images that I use. So things like color palettes or design ideas, both for my job but also for my personal brand. So I work in design. I have to do a lot of design. You wouldn't believe it if you saw my YouTube video thumbnails, but I actually do. I work in marketing and design. So I need to be able to gather inspiration to then again be able to do the things I have to do both at work but also in my personal social media. So that is why I've gone for my mind as like my go-to note-taking application. I also use Tooz, and I use two journaling application. Tooz is one of them, and this is my bullet journal. This isn't actually the bullet journal. This is just an account I use for YouTube videos. I'm not comfortable sharing like journal entries. I don't have any problems with sharing my notes, but I'm not as comfortable sharing journal entries all the time, especially because people in my life are mentioned and I don't want to put them out there on social media. But this basically, the way I use this is that I have a today page. I go into the today page, and as my day as I go through my day, as I accomplish tasks, as I do things, I write down how I felt, what I did, one thing that I really enjoyed that day, one thing I didn't enjoy that day, with the point of like being able to go back and reflect and even figuring out what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy doing. That's basically what I use this for, and I just like the simplicity of it, just being able to write things into here quite simply. There is a WhatsApp integration as well, which I've tried 1 or 2 times, I think, but in general, I just use this to take bullet point notes. I have tried it as a note taking app as well, and I do like it for that reason or for that use case as well. It is a really good application. It has things like the universe right here, it has your lists, and you can do sub lists within those lists. So a lot of opportunities with an application like this. I like it because it grows with you, but I personally just use it as a bullet journal application because this is one of the only ones I've found that works for that specific reason, and I like to have it digitally as well to be able to find like my thoughts, ideas, being able to search for things. So that's what I mainly use Tools for. So the next two applications goes hand in hand. We have my task application, which is Todoist, and there is actually only one reason or two reasons for why I love Todoist. One is the natural language processing, which also works in Norwegian, which makes me really happy. So I can do like film, YouTube, video tomorrow, or in Norwegian, writing i morgen. Then I can do hashtag and I can choose a project. In this case, it will be social media, and like that. Press enter again, and it is set for tomorrow. It is that simple, and it will appear in here as well. So I just like how simple it is to capture things. That's what matters to me. But I also like to use both the Kanban view right here when I'm planning out my week. I haven't actually done so this week, simply because yesterday I came home really late after traveling, so I haven't been able to actually plan out my whole week. But most weeks I actually plan out everything and I drag things back and forward. But you also have the calendar view where you can do like calendar blocking, so I could drag this into my calendar like this, and just put it here, for example, and it will take around an hour, so I could do this. And this is mainly what I use both as my to-do list application and my calendar for two reasons. One of them being the ability to drag and drop into your calendar and in a Kanban board. Second thing is the natural language processing, which means that when my life gets hectic, I actually don't need to uh, organize anything. I can just write it down and it will surface when I actually need it to. Next up, we have Amy, and calendar applications are things that matters a lot to me. I want my calendar application to look pretty and to be integrated to my to-do list application. So I use Amy, where I pay for a lot of the applications. So I pay for Tools, I pay for Todoist, I pay for My Mind. I don't actually pay for Amy. I'm not on a paid plan. Uh, and it's just that I don't need all of the things. So I don't need my email client within Amy. I don't need unlimited integrations. I don't need the AI auto scheduling. All of these things are really cool, but I don't actually use this calendar application a lot. The main thing I actually use it for is to share my availability for, especially for my podcasts, when I invite guests and we are trying to figure out when we can do the recording. I just um, I just share this and it will appear. My time slots will appear for them. So this is a scheduling link. That's mainly what I use it for, and things like calendar invites. And this is also connected to my Todoist. So there is an integration here with Todoist. I mainly, as you can see here, I mainly use Todoist to navigate my daily tasks, but sometimes I do check my calendar to see if there is any specific meetings. But I think this is a really cool application, and one of the main reasons for me starting with this application is that it had a Spotify integration, which allowed me to see what music I listened to, and that was really cool. When I was actually using Spotify, I'm changed to Apple Music, so that doesn't matter as much anymore. But I I just don't bother to change a calendar application. It is not something I'm using that much. I mainly use the calendar view inside of Todoist. So there are two more applications I use regularly. The first one is actually voicenotes, and this is like an application I use really on and off, but the same idea as things like My Mind and Todoist. I don't like organizing, so I just want to talk out my notes, and then I might actually copy some of it and put it inside of my note-taking application, which is My Mind. But mainly this is a capture application, and at times I capture a lot, at times I don't capture anything at all. So this isn't an application I'm like using every single day, but I am using it quite regularly. I would say at least a couple of times each month. And with the addition of the Apple Watch application, I am trying to use it a little bit more. But after I found so I had this thing where whenever I went to sleep, I actually ended up coming up with a huge idea. And for those of you who have an Apple Watch, uh, Siri doesn't work too well. That is something Apple is trying to fix. But I found the Apple Watch application on voice notes. So that is what I've been using to like talk out my ideas when I have gone to sleep and my phone is charging and I don't want to get up and go grab the phone. So that is also one of the use cases for this application. I paid for the Believer plan of this, so this isn't a monthly subscription anymore. I have already paid for the Believer plan, which I think was around 50 USD, something like that. But I am really happy with the application. It is a really good application, both as a capture app, which I'm using it for, but also as a full-on note-taking app. Another app that I don't use regularly, but it is a part of my tool stack, is actually an application called Glasp, and this is a capture application. I use this to capture things from different articles and books, and this is also really good for getting my Kindle highlights out of Kindle. That is also one of the things I have been using it for, uh, just to jump into Kindle and get my Kindle highlights and then move them into My Mind. The same goes for the highlights I take on different articles. I just like the user interface of the web clipper they have. I also like to jump in here and uh, to see what other people have highlighted, because you can do that. You have this homepage where you can see what other people have highlighted. So if I have an hour or 15 minutes or whatever it is when I'm commuting to and from work, I will just go onto this and just look at the things that have been highlighted from the people I follow. You also have the discover here where you can discover things. So I do really like the community aspect of this. Tooth has something similar to this, but I really like it and I try to use it as much as I can. Not necessarily just for capturing. I think I use it a lot more just to find ideas, thoughts, and things I want to read. As I said, I use multiple journaling applications, and One of the points is that I want to really be really journal every single day. I want to be consistent with my journaling, and in order for me to do that, I it might be a bit of cheating, but I've decided that I will count digitally written pages. I will count voice notes for those days where I feel really bad and just have to get my thoughts out. I will allow bullet journaling. I will count that as well. But mainly, I do my journaling in a book, in a physical notebook with a fountain pen. That's mainly what I do. But sometimes I'm just too tired. I want to lie in bed and do my journaling. I There are many different reasons for why I don't want to be bothered with journaling, but I still try to get my thoughts out because I know that there are a lot of benefits. So I use DayOne as well. This is probably the application on the list I use the least. Again, this is not my main account. This is a dummy account I use for YouTube videos. Same reasoning as with twos. I don't feel comfortable sharing all of my journal entries on my YouTube channel, but that is the applications I am using. But I am also playing around with a project manager application. So as you may have already known, I am looking for like a team second brain uh, project management application for all of the things I do on social media. Like I have the podcast that I have to follow up on. I am considering starting a second one with just me. I have my TikTok account, my LinkedIn. There is just a lot of things that needs to be done. I have a website I'm working on right now, and being able to do that inside of or outside of like my personal applications for several different reasons. One of them being that I want, just as an example, I want to more easily be able to share my podcast notes with the people I work with to create the podcast or the website, or whenever I'm working with a freelancer, I want to easily be able to like share my brand and things like that. For them to more easily be able to understand like how the workflow should go, what colors to use and stuff like that. So I have been playing around with Notion again. As you may have already know, I'm not a big fan of this as a note-taking app. I have multiple times called it more of a project management application, and as you also may have known, I have struggled with applications like this before because I tend to do more like organizing than actual work. I have tried ClickUp as well. I have tried Monday.com as well. So I am playing around with this in my spare time. This isn't a priority to work on, but I am actively looking for a project management application because none of my like personal applications I feel are good enough to be used with a team or with others. I get a lot of help, or not a lot, but I get some help on different like things related to my social medias. I get help from like family members, and I want to be able to like streamline that a little bit better. So I am actively looking. And I am probably going to pay for it. I also do have a plan of hiring someone next year, so there is a lot of things that need to be done around the project management aspect, but this is something I have in the back of my mind, so you know that it will like appear or the next time I do a video like this, there will probably be project management application included without me knowing which one it will be. That is it for today's YouTube video. This was a long one, but I use a lot of different applications, and that is just a personal. I like applications. First of all, I review a lot of applications, so it feels important to like actively be using a lot of them, but mainly I use a lot because I found that using multiple different applications works a lot better for me than like having everything inside of Notion or everything inside of Tools or My Mind. I like to have specific applications for specific use cases because I feel like applications are good at different things, and I want to utilize the things they're good at, and I want to outsource the things they're bad at to another application. But as I said, that is highly personal. You have to figure out what works for you. And this is more of an like not educational, but this is more of an entertainment video rather than an educational one where I just show you what I do. And this might change in the future, but it has actually been quite stable for a few months now. I've only changed my note-taking app the last 6 months, and that was because the previous one just stopped working, so, or didn't work properly, so I had to change. But it has been stable for a while, and I'm really happy about it. And that is it for today's video.